think that's what they call a Bluetooth frame rail. Well, Mazda fans, we got us a 92 B2200 extended cab. For all you B-Series Mazda truck owners out there, be thankful if you live out of the Rust Belt. Alright, so what I did here was I got the correct thickness of flat piece of material. I needed to make another one of these, first of all, that wasn't completely rotted. Second of all, because I raised the frame rail, the distance from the bottom of the cross tube to the gas tank changed by 3/4 of an inch. So I had to make one of these that was 3/4 of an inch longer anyway. So I used this as my template to measure from. And you can see when it's all said and done, hopefully, when I do the profile cutout, stick it in the press brake, bend it, I'm going to drill the holes ahead of time. Hopefully it'll come out looking better than this one and the proper height. Let's see how I make out. Guess what? I never turned the record button on. You didn't get to see me cut this profile out. Oh well, my bad. That's a success. Alright, one of the things I decided to do is I actually put some drain holes in the back side of this. I'll show you why in a minute. This is probably, well, this is probably the 4th gas tank I've changed. This one I'm not necessarily changing, I'm just taking out and reinstalling. What happens is when this bracket from the factory is where it belongs, what ends up happening is the debris gets trapped between the tank and the bracket, and it actually gets trapped and piles up in here, and it causes this tank to rot out right along here. There's at least 3 tanks that I've replaced because of that. So I put some drain holes in here. If nothing else, you can get under here with a hose and wash it out, and it'll drain out, and hopefully what it'll do is stop that debris from piling up in there. So I'm going to weld these corner seams together, and then I'm going to bring it over and I'm going to use the tank as a fixture, and then I will weld this in place. So that's a huge accomplishment from that nasty old rusty black bracket to this nice new bracket. So, alright, time to get to work. Well, I got all but 3 out so far. Alright, well, that worked. That was a blessing for sure. Alright, we just threw the bed on here just to do a quick fit check, and I'm kind of glad I did, because I'll show you just the one and only discrepancy. But what I really like is the body lines are nice and straight, and the upper line is nice, but the bed is like a ½ inch towards the passenger side, and I can't pull it this way, and the reason is, let me go on the other side where there's some light. So the reason I can't push the bed towards the driver's side is when I C-notched the frame, I had to cut the bed support out. It's right here, so it would come down and sit flush with the floor of the bed. I didn't cut out enough on the other side, and it's hitting against the frame, so I just have to take like another ½ inch out of that and slide it towards the driver's side, and we'll get rid of this little 1/2 inch discrepancy here of where the door comes along the quarter panel and the bed steps out. So once I move it over, it's actually pretty nice. The bed lines are lined up good, and even the gap from top to bottom is nice. So that's without any bolts in it, but it is sitting on the cab mounts. So once I trim that away, like I said, I'll be able to slide the bed this way a tiny bit, and I think we'll be in good shape. What I really wanted to test and see was, how was that gap doing? And I like it. So this was just a confidence builder to make sure I was on the right track. Now I'm going to take the bed back off. I'll adjust the issues with the bed rail that I need to get it to slide this way. We're just another step closer to getting this thing back on the road. So this is the wheel opening here, and this is that support I was telling you about. I've got to trim the driver's side one back so the bed will shift, and it should line up perfectly. Okay, well, I've got the tank in, I've got all the lines hooked up, and we've bled the brakes and all that stuff. But before the bed goes on, I want to make sure that the gas gauge works and the engine runs and we're picking up fuel properly. So let's see what happens. Blue smoke there, but man, does it run good. I'm psyched. Alright, let me give you a little walk through what's going on here. Well, we did the all brand new brake lines. While I was here, I wire brushed the rear end, gave it a quick coat of paint. I took the rear shocks from this truck because that's getting coilovers, and I moved them over to this one. The frame's been replaced. We've got all of the wiring run along the frame rails. I welded 1/4 nuts on. I know it's supposed to be metric, right? I welded 1/4 nuts on. I welded studs on for the grounds, and I used tie wraps to hold the wiring harness all the way forward. I got new fuel lines leading up to the tank. All the rubber hoses are new except for the little pressure purge valve. And I did the cab corners. This one I have sprayed with undercoating. This side is done. I'm just waiting for the self-etching primer to dry. And I kept the ABS module intact. Got the grounding stud on this side. So as you saw, I just fired it up. It's been sitting for what, a month now, so a little bit of blue smoke at the startup was okay with me. I wanted to confirm that everything back here was correct. It did have a fuel delivery problem, which is why I bought the new sender, because I didn't know if the pickup was bad in the tank or something like that. I've just confirmed that the gas gauge does work. Initially I had these two wires reversed. Apparently black is not ground, so that's fixed. And well, I'm sorry, I just noticed the terminal going into the tank is the top one, so I thought that was ground. But anyway, I swapped them. The gas gauge is working perfectly now. I put 3 gallons in and it's reading 1/8 of a tank, so I'm really happy that I should have a gas gauge when this is all done. So the next step is to swing the bed over and put it on, and then I'm going to put the tires on, and I think we're going to take it for a test drive. Let's see how we make out. Alright, I was all ready to put the bed on, and then I made the mistake of thinking, and I decided to put a second cross member here behind the rear axle, and that is just in case I am going to add the spare tire carrier. I would have something for the tire to come up and hit against when it's cranked up into position. So I just hit all of this, I welded it in, I hit it with self-etching primer. I'm waiting for that to flash off. I'll hit it with some enamel, and then we'll put the bed on. That's encouraging. Well, that took a while, but it's done. Hey folks, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe, the like button. You know what to do. Thanks again. See you in the next video.